Can we get some makeup? The shine off of his head is blinding.
The ball jokes are getting old, man.
It's
Seriously.
distracting. Emotional support pillow.
Brandon, what are you thinking? We almost ready?
I think we're good to go whenever you're ready.
So we're already rolling then.
Yep.
Oh, fun.
All right. Well, I'd like to welcome y'all out today. My name is Jay Baker with the Cherokee Sheriff's Office PIO. We've got our recruiting team here today. This is our CSO What You Need to Know podcast. It's the first time we've done one in a while, and it's the first time we've ever videotaped one, so y'all are kind of guinea pigs here. If you don't mind, how about y'all introduce yourselves and tell us exactly what you do here with the Sheriff's Office. Brian, let's start with you.
My name's Brian Venable, and I'm a detective here with the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office at headquarters.
All right. Amy?
I'm Amy McDonald, and I am in the Office of Recruitment.
And I'm Deputy Simmons, the recruiter for Cherokee Sheriff's Office.
Excellent. So y'all are our recruiting team. We're starting with y'all because the recruiting team is such an integral part of what we do. I mean, literally everyone that comes to work for us comes through the recruiting team. So let's talk about what it is when the process for somebody that wants to get hired with the Cherokee Sheriff's Office. Obviously, it starts with an application, but when someone applies and y'all get the application, what happens at that point?
So initial applications are reviewed by myself. I look for immediate disqualifiers like any felonies, domestic violence, tattoos on the face, neck, or hands, and anything that's pretty obvious right out the gate. And then it continues from there to the background booklet.
All right. So we want to encourage everyone to apply. However, there are some automatic disqualifiers. There are some people that are not eligible to be employed from the Sheriff's Department. So let's talk about that. Brian, Amy?
Yeah. So no marijuana use within 12 months of them applying for the agency. If they've had any domestic violence charges in the past, that's a disqualifier.
Convictions or charges? Conviction.
Yeah.
Okay.
Officially, it's convictions.
Marijuana within 12 months, anything harder within 5 years, domestic violence, any other felonies, reckless driving or DUI within 5 years.
Correct.
Tattoos on the face, neck, or hands, which is a huge one.
Right.
It's same for any intentional gouging.
Neck, face, or hands, no tattoos.
Which is, behind the ear is considered the neck, which is the big one lately. Sorry, I didn't mean to take it over.
You're good. But let me ask you, what if they got a small tattoo and are willing to get it removed, or can
it has to be completely removed before they can be.
Okay, that's good information to know.
The one thing I'll add to that too is on the front end, when they apply, they're asked to submit pictures of all their tattoos that they have so that we can make sure that there's no gang affiliations or anything that is offensive.
Yeah, which is great. We asked just the tattoo. There's no full body shots from down here, please.
Gotcha.
So it's a rough Monday morning when you get one of those in your inbox.
Okay.
But yeah, just to make sure they're not affiliated with any gangs or have anything that would embarrass the agency.
Any other automatic disqualifiers?
I think we covered all of them.
All right. Okay, so if they get through you, they get the background booklet, which is a much larger application really than the initial one, if I'm not mistaken.
35 pages.
35 pages. So it takes a while for them to fill that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But as soon as I get that back to me, we can go ahead and schedule for a physical agility test.
Okay.
Now, the difference between an application and the background book is, like you said, it's a little bit more in depth. It's every place you ever lived, every place you ever worked, references, things like that.
So after the background booklet, we're going to do a physical agility test, which obviously it's like an obstacle course. Tell us about the PAT.
Yeah, sure. It's, like you said, it's an obstacle course consisting of 9 obstacles.
So
emotional support. Go ahead.
So when y'all take someone out there to the course, what should they expect? And by the way, they can look at it before they come and take it, correct? But we have it on our website for them to look at, kind of get to get an idea of what
That's
they're going to do.
It's found on our website, and they can come and take a look at it if they want. It's basically a short obstacle course that needs to be completed in under 2 minutes and 6 seconds. And it's pretty basic, running, crawling, changing direction on the fly, going through a window, and that type of stuff.
Okay. And you said 2 minutes and what?
2 minutes and 6 seconds.
So how hard is that for the average person, and what is the best score that you can recall in recent years?
Yeah, so I ran it several times in full kit. I'm making about 1:50. All right. Most kids come in right around that time frame, 1:45, 1:55, thereabouts. The fastest was a fellow who ran it in 1 minute and 14, I believe it was.
Yes.
1:14.
Which is impressive. You don't get any extra points for that, though, correct?
You don't. It's passive.
So there's really no. I mean, it's awesome to see that, but I'm guessing y'all don't encourage them to try to do that because.
Well, for me personally, you're there to run a physical agility test, and yes, it's pass or fail, but it's also competitive.
Right.
Just because you get across the finish line doesn't mean 10 other people also do the same thing. So what's going to make you stand out? So if you go out there and start sandbagging, malingering, and just kind of
Right.
ease across the finish line, I might take that as a personal affront.
However,
I
I wanna
consider a minute 50 sandbagging. So here we are.
I feel like I've seen some people though sprint it and pass out before
Yes,
they finish, which
they
they
gas themselves.
guaranteed they could have passed, but they were trying to press. So you just got to know your abilities. I'm guessing.
He always tells them keep a steady pace. Don't gas yourself. You'll get Bambi legs.
Yeah, so Bambi legs is muscle fatigue.
Right.
There's a lot of up and down and doing these things and pulling a weight. So a lot of people, they don't work those quads. And over time, when they do run and exert themselves, they'll try to stand up and sprint again or run again. And their legs just give out right underneath.
Right.
them. Call it Bambi legs.
Can people come out and try it before the official, or is there any reason to do that?
I don't think there's a real reason to do that. We'll tell them, sometimes it's nerves. So sometimes we'll just tell them, hey, go ahead and try your best. And if they pass, we'll count as a pass. If not, then, hey, as long as you show continued improvement, we'll run you again.
How many times can they try it, and can you do it back to back, or do you have to
You
wait?
can. We actually have one who's a success story here. She ran it and just missed it by a couple seconds. She tried her little heart out. She took a break. She was determined. She says, I'm not going back to the place that she worked. I'm determined to complete this. And she ran it, and it was down to the tenths of seconds. It was 2:05 and some change, but she fell across the finish line. Everything she got. And I said, that
Awesome.
was outstanding. We want that don't quit attitude.
Sounds good. And then after, if they pass the physical agility, what's the next step?
Then it goes on to the interview board, the hiring board.
Mm-hmm. So what do y'all do to prepare? What should they? So if someone coming in for an interview, how many people are they going to have to sit down in front of, and how long does that normally take? What do y'all give us a little bit about that, Amy?
It's 5 people. It's usually chaired by a captain, Captain Britt, and just 4 people throughout the agency.
And they basically come in, sit down, and they're asked. From what I recall, it's been usually under 30 minutes to complete. Correct?
No, it's about 45 minutes.
Okay. All right. Stand corrected. Okay. If they do
Okay.
well at the interview, what happens at that point?
Then they'll receive a conditional job offer.
And then, Brian, what happens after they get a conditional job offer?
After they get a conditional job offer, then the file gets turned over to me, and I start the background investigation. So I'll make initial contact with them, walk them through the steps of the process, check their schedule availability, see if they're working or not, see how flexible they are with times for appointments. So the first thing I'll do is schedule a polygraph exam. So we typically have a polygrapher who will come on site to us, to our location, and administer the polygraphs. After the polygraphs, I'll sit down and interview them and get to know a little bit more about them. So there's a whole bunch of things I go through with them, but really just get to know them. So I'm going to be dealing with them for the next month, or month and a half or so.
Okay. And if they pass the polygraph, they got a couple more steps, right?
Yeah, they do. Ms. McDonald will schedule a medical appointment for them that will run concurrent with everything that's going on. So that's done here locally at one of our providers off Sixes Road. And after that, the next thing is a psychological exam. And typically we have our clinical psychologist come to our location, same deal with the polygraph. He'll come on site, he'll administer the psychological exam, which takes up to 4 hours. Most people finish it in about 2.5 to 3 hours, but it's very extensive. They'll sit down at a computer, answer a whole bunch of questions, and at the end of that, the clinical psychologist will have the opportunity to get to know more about them to make sure that they're a right fit for the agency.
So you mentioned a polygraph and a psych test. What is it that we're looking for or concerned about when someone takes that?
Well, one of the things that Deputy Simmons really tries to get across to the applicants on the front end is honesty with everything. So
I
we're
think you
looking.
should give your honesty speech right now.
Oh, man, I thought he was doing great, and you
Let's hear it.
interrupted
I
him.
want to hear it. What's the honesty
Sorry.
speech?
I thought it was supposed to be more just like talking.
Definitely.
No.
Lay it on us, Curie.
Oh, I got it written down, so I don't have to memorize it.
Well, basically, what's it
It
about?
says,
Your
honesty, honesty, integrity are the pillars of law enforcement. So that means that your word must be gold. If selected going forward, you will not be recognized by your private identity. Instead, you'll be held, or you will be recognized as a peace officer and held to a higher standard than your civilian counterparts. With that being said, this is now your amnesty period. Anything that was maybe omitted or forgotten during your background booklet, as long as you update it now and it's not a violation of our policy, it won't be held against you. Essentially, telling them that we're not in the businesses, we're not in the business of hiring saints. We understand that everyone comes from a background, And as long as you're honest about it, we can normally get it figured out. It's the dishonesty that we can't.
And that holds true through their entire career. People make mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes. But if you're not honest about it, that's usually what gets you fired.
That's right.
Bottom line.
Yep.
So, in the psych, what are we looking for on the psych?
Basically, the clinical psychologist will look for a lot of different things. Basically, he wants to make sure that they can handle the task of being a deputy sheriff, and to include, we also do psychological exams on civilian employees as well. The testing is different for each one of those, deputy and civilian, but both have to submit to a psychological exam. So they just want to make sure that they're fit to be a deputy sheriff primarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if they pass the psych and the polygraph,
Yep.
what's next?
So in concurrent with that runs all the reference checks. So we have them submit 4 professional, 4 personal references. We talk to every employer they've ever had. We go to their house. We talk to their neighbors. In addition to with the interview process that I do with them, I go through their social media. We want to make sure that they're not displaying things on there that would potentially shed a bad light on the sheriff's office. So I give them my little speech and explain to them that, we're held to higher standards in the community than everybody else. And we have to make sure that we're not having things on there that could shed a bad light on the sheriff's office. So,
Okay, so we're back to you're doing your field visits and what else?
yeah.
Then we do the agency checks.
And we do the agency checks too. So some of them are what's called a lateral, meaning they've worked at another department and they want to come to work for Cherokee County. So we'll get the information from their previous employers, the agency, and go with the information to make sure it's consistent with the information they've provided to us.
Okay. And while you're talking about laterals, so there is a certain starting pay, but we pay extra for different degrees if they've got. I'll let you explain what else.
Yeah, sure. So it's experience, and then we'll go from either a college degree, associate's, bachelor's, or master's, nighttime differential, and then being bilingual in Spanish.
Okay. Excellent. And so if they pass all these tests, what's the next step after the polygraph and the psych? I mean, at that point, they've already been given a conditional job offer, the background check. What else?
Right. So I compile all the information. I put it into a final report. It's reviewed by our captain, and he signs off on it. From there, it's submitted to the sheriff and the chief for review.
Okay.
And an appointment is scheduled for the applicant, civilian and deputy, to meet with the chief and the sheriff.
Okay. So, and I know obviously this is going to vary from person to person, but typically speaking, from the time someone applies, how long does this process take, this entire process, from the time they sit down with the sheriff if they're selected?
From when they apply, it's pretty close to 2 months.
6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, 6 to 8
Okay.
weeks. Once they pass the hiring board, it's about a 6-week process. And, it's important for us to allow the applicant to give a 2 weeks notice, too. We want them leaving on good terms from their current employer.
Okay.
Which is crazy because every agency around us is 6 months.
Wow. So we're doing a lot quicker than some of the other ones. Good. Now we've been talking about sworn officers, but we have, I think, almost 100 civilians that work for the Cherokee Sheriff's Office, and y'all recruit for them.
100 at headquarters.
100 at headquarters.
Just kidding.
So how do y'all recruit for civilians as well?
Yeah. So we don't normally have a problem recruiting civilians. They come in by the dozen or so. It's basically the same exact process except no physical agility test. No.
Okay. I probably should have asked this earlier, but how is you actually recruit? Where do you go to find these applicants? I mean, no, we have something on our website, but what is it that what is it that you do to find these people, to get them to apply? Maybe somebody that doesn't even know the Cherokee Sheriff's Office.
Well, I know that I just show up to places and stand there and look handsome. And that seems, don't
Does that
add
work?
Don't add that.
No.
That's awful. Don't
They
say
run.
No, for real. What do y'all
She
do?
tells me where to go, and I just show up.
So we're talking about job fairs then?
Job fairs, career fairs, colleges, festivals.
Yeah, the road signs are a big thing too.
Yeah.
Which is shocking. Honestly, I didn't think that'd be such a big contributor, but they really are.
In the truck.
And online presence.
So we have a large vehicle that has recruiting information on it. We put our mobile signs out that we try to target the schools. If I'm not mistaken, we put them out near the schools so these students that are graduating.
Yeah, especially during graduations. But the biggest contributor out of everything combined is the word of mouth. Deputies recruiting out there in the street. It's not unheard of for multiple applicants to come to me and say, "Hey, I was talking to Deputy so and so, and he seems like a squared away guy." And so the deputies that we have out there doing their everyday jobs, patrolling and things, are the number one recruiter.
Yeah. All right. If someone is like graduating high school, let's say they're 18, 19 years old, maybe 17 years old, and they're interested in law enforcement, what is the difference between maybe a sheriff's department and a police department? Because a lot of times police departments won't hire anybody until they're 21, correct?
Correct. They cannot.
But we will hire.
At 18 with a high school diploma or GED.
Okay. And those individuals will typically start off in the jail, correct?
Yes, they all start off in the jail.
Okay. And so basically what I was trying to get at is that sometimes somebody they're not 21 yet, they want to go in law enforcement, they get a job with us, they start off in the jail, and they're getting experience, they're getting paid, and eventually when they turn 21 and they become of age, they can go to the mandate and then become a certified peace officer.
Correct.
Yep.
Another thing about, let's talk about some of the different divisions. People watch cops and they know that there are people out there patrolling. They know that people that are detectives as well. But in the sheriff's department, especially a full service sheriff's department, we have a lot of different divisions. And I'm assuming y'all discuss all these different things. Let's talk about some of the different positions that someone can work for the Cherokee Sheriff's Office.
Yeah. So obviously, being a sheriff's office, we are a full service agency. So not only do we work the jail, we work patrol, canine, SWAT, detectives, like you said. Warrant division, which is another constitutional demand for the sheriff's office, as well as courts. And then inside the adult detention center, there's various other positions in there. So you're not just stuck in a tower, for example. You can be a rover moving from post to post, or a medical deputy who's moving inmates that have had injuries or sustained illness or whatever down to medical. And I don't know, there's about 100 others.
And we have a career path for those. Some people really enjoy working in the jail, and there's a career path for those individuals that may not ever want to come out and patrol. That's not so. That's somewhere. If you go into a police department, you're going to have to patrol. But if that's something you're not interested in, there is an avenue here to still be promoted, even though maybe you're not on the road.
Yes, that's true. And working in the jail really, for young people, it provides them a lot of opportunities. They can learn a lot about how to deal with people. And if they have aspirations of going to uniform patrol, it's a great place for them to really learn how to deal with things and with people. They learn everything from conflict resolution to just how to handle situations that they're going to be dealing with when they're on uniform patrol. And the beauty of it too is it's a climate controlled environment. So it's the temperature is the same inside, so you don't have to worry about heat or cold or rain or anything like that. So. And there are a lot of people who choose the jail as a career path just because it's a comfortable place to work.
Right. One of the things I did want to talk about was, I've been here for over 30 years, and I've met a lot of people that weren't your traditional individual that wanted to go into the public safety. They weren't some young man who's always wanted to be a cop. Maybe I can think of a couple off the top of my head that were in the corporate field. They either retired or were laid off, and they went to a job fair, and they see a sheriff's recruiter there, and just for the heck of it, they put in for it, and they start this new career that they end up loving that they would never even would have considered. And Brian, I think you may fall in that category. Can you tell us a little bit about what you did?
I do. So in 2009, I was laid off from my job when the economy had basically tanked, and I was out of work for months. And I had a friend who was a lieutenant here at the sheriff's office, and he had mentioned that they were hiring. They had 2 positions available, so I got hired in July of 2009, and I've been in sales and operations my whole professional career, selling artificial Christmas trees most recently. So I traveled all over the nation, working different trade events, shows, traveled to Hong Kong and to China on several occasions, doing product development, stuff like that. So it was a very different thing for me, and I needed a job. I never thought I would stick around. So I was 43 years old when I started this career. And
now he's 107.
I have no regrets. I really love it. The great thing too, and it's really hard for young people to think about, is a pension. We this sheriff's office and county employees have a real pension. And as you get older in life, you will certainly appreciate that, but they're very far and few between. I think, Amy, you said the other day there's only about a couple of different agencies in the
There's only
state
2 that I know of.
that offer
that have
pensions.
pensions.
Most of them offer 401ks, but a pension certainly is nice.
That's a good time to bring up the POAB, which is the Peace Officers Annuity Benefit Fund, which
Right.
our agency actually pays for now for certified officers. And if you spend your career in law enforcement, once you retire, that's an additional,
Right.
basically pension that you can get
Great
on
secondary
top of
retirement, certainly. Yeah.
All right. I was going to ask. So for someone sitting at home that's either interested in law enforcement, or maybe after hearing this or watching this, or want to get in law enforcement, what's the best way to apply or to get their name in the hat?
Yeah, just go to our website and put an initial application. All our contact information's right there. So if you want additional information, just reach out and give a call. We'll give you a jail tour, or even give you a ride along too.
Okay. So go to just Google Cherokee Sheriff's Office, Georgia, because there's many Cherokee Sheriff's offices, and that'll take you to the recruiting team and click on employment. And
Yeah, there's a big button that says join our team. You can't miss it.
And he especially likes it when you call on Friday and Saturday nights.
late,
That's-
because his phone rings at all time.
All the time. 1 a.m. it rings.
Sounds good. Can y'all think of anything we haven't covered that we should talk about at this point?
One thing I would like to add is that, most people have not seen the inside of a jail. And it's very important for us, all 3 of us, we all do jail tours. And typically it's done after the physical agility test, but we want to make sure people have a very clear understanding about where they're going to be working. And we give them a complete jail tour all through the facility and let them know all the different posts to work. And we want to make sure that they're comfortable working here before they decide to go through the process, because it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot to go through.
It is. And just, going into a jail, it is shocking, no matter especially if you've never been in one, it's shocking to see. However, on the other hand, it's also not like you might think in TV.
No.
It's a lot safer.
Yeah.
And you've got people around you, and it's nice to hear that and for y'all to show them and give them that information, because it's probably not what you're thinking about, because it's not Oz, and it's not something like some dangerous place where the guards are getting assaulted all the time. Certainly not here.
No, and most people that complete the jail tour, they are very surprised on how clean the facility is, how professional it's run, compared to what they see on TV and movies and things like that. And I will say, too, that for individuals who have been to other jails, either on a tour or worked there, ours is very, very different. It's very different.
That's good to know in a way, in a good way, obviously.
In a good way, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So somebody that's interested in applying for the sheriff's department, knowing they're going to have to do, the background, the application, the interviews with not just the interview board, but with also talking to y'all, what are some things you might recommend that they consider doing before actually coming in and applying? Is there anything they can do to make it better or make them appear more attractive to y'all and to the board?
Sure. I'll cover the physical fitness aspect, and you can cover the interviews and stuff. Sure. But for me,
And I'll just sit here and look good.
So I tell them all, hey, get acclimatized to running outside. We have an exterior course, so run outside and run up hills. It is taxing on the legs. If you don't work out your quads, you're going to pay for it later. That's essentially it. Make sure you can run, and then if you show up, you fail it, don't be discouraged that you give up on yourself and quit entirely. Just understand, hey, that's your deficiency. Work on it. Don't quit. We can't employ quitters, right? The civilian population, Cherokee County residents, they require us to keep going in the face of adversity. So just keep going after it. And then, of course, interviewing is a big one. We see all sorts of stuff, and I'll let him touch on that.
Yeah, for interviewing, the important thing that we're looking for is honesty with everything. And, part of what Captain Britt will tell them is that he understands that everybody's made mistakes. If we had the chance to do it over again, we'd do something differently. But we're looking for ownership of the mistakes. We all make mistakes, but they're really looking for honesty with everything. A lot of people will try to make themselves look better by minimizing things, whether it's their drug use or crimes they've committed, shoplifting, whatever. If they take ownership over it, as long as it wasn't recent, it's fine. They just want to know about it.
Okay. So one of the things maybe we should talk about, somebody who's considering law enforcement, but they see all the craziness on the news, and there's lots of police haters out there. we have a little bit more support here. Maybe it's just Georgia, maybe it's North Georgia or the South, but I feel like we have a whole lot more support than some of the police in other parts of the country.
Yeah, and I can attest to that. We were talking about how I'm a lateral hire initially, right? Come from City of Duluth and Gwinnett. And yeah, there's definitely pockets of that population out there who absolutely do not want law enforcement and are totally against us. And here, coming over, that was one of the things I noticed is that you can't go anywhere without, hey, thank you for your service, appreciate you being out here. Even if it's something minor, which is great, because if you're out there working in a community, risking your life in a community, and the people actually support you and actually go out of their way to say, hey, thanks, or whatever it is, you're going to go that extra step. You're going to keep fighting. You're going to keep out there and, and turning over every rock to find a solution to whatever the problem is. So it is really good working out here. And it was one of the reasons why I selected Cherokee County to come to.
Excellent. What do y'all think some of the most rewarding parts of being in law enforcement here in Cherokee County?
Working with me.
That's got to be it, Amy, I'm sure.
100%.
Simmons, you can handle this one.
Oh, man, I feel like I've been talking a lot. The most
It is a
rewarding-
podcast.
Yeah.
Do you want me to remind you what you said?
No, I remember. I think they're one and the same, right? Helping folks is definitely the most rewarding, but at the same time, it's a double-bladed sword. Sometimes helping them is putting handcuffs on them and dragging them into jail. In fact, just a couple months ago, I got a thank you letter from a lady I arrested. And it wasn't anything crazy. It wasn't a big case or a big scene. She was just drunk at a bar and refusing to leave and being disorderly and all this other stuff. And after multiple warnings of her to, hey, you need to catch an Uber or a taxi and get out of here, she refused. So what are you going to do? I put the handcuffs on her, dragged her to jail. About a month after that, she sent out a thank you email basically saying, hey, thank you for arresting me. That was my rock bottom. Thank you for not just putting me in an Uber because I wouldn't have stopped. I realized I had an issue, I had a problem, and I've since been sober and I'm getting my life back together and on track, and it's a great thing. The downside is that sometimes it doesn't always go that way, and you see the bad side of that too.
Yeah, well, that's wonderful. You're right. A lot of times when our deputies are out, they are at someone's lowest point in their life, and it is nice to hear back from them years or months later that was it. They turned it around from that point on and got things back on track, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, not to put too sharp an edge on it, but one of the things that the sheriff tells every employee that's coming in, every applicant, is as you're down there working in the jail, just remember that they just made one bad decision that landed them there. They're not bad people, so treat them accordingly, right? You can be there the next day.
That's right. You got to treat them with respect, and I think what he says is they're one bad decision away from. We're all one bad decision away from being downstairs,
I
basically.
think that's right. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us for this episode of CSO What You Need to Know. We're going to start doing a lot more of these, and if you've got some suggestions for topics, please let us know, and hope to see everyone in the future.